Hello guys, my name is David, and in today's video I'm going to share with you 11 things I think you should know before you come to Germany. So the first one has to do with insurance. In Germany we have two types. We have the public one and we have the private one. If you're a single person and probably you want to be in Germany for just some time and then go back to your country, then I think you have to go for private insurance. But if you are somebody who has family or you intend to bring your family along in the future, then I think you have to go for public insurance. Now, when I say family, I mean your wife or husband and children. This is because with private insurance, your payment of insurance does not cover your wife and children, right? You have to pay separately for each of them. But for public insurance, you, the man or the person who is working, whether the wife or the husband is working, you can cover your wife or your husband and your children, right? They don't have to pay extra amount, but with private insurance, they have to pay. But if you're a single person, then the private insurance is much more cheaper than compared to the public one. But if you have family, then the public one becomes much more cheaper, because with the private you have to pay for everybody. And so this is something I think you have to know from the start to choose which one you are going for, because normally if you go for private, you cannot switch to public unless maybe your job or your employer rather changes your insurance to public. You yourself cannot change it, so it's something that you have to do from the start, or to know from the start. The second thing I want you to know is that in Germany, supermarkets and big shops are closed on Sundays and also on public holidays. And so if you're coming to Germany, you should note and then buy your stuff before the end of Saturday, because on Sunday, if you need something, you cannot buy it, right? So you need to make sure that everything is being bought on Saturday. And if you don't buy it, and if you're not also lucky, Monday is a holiday, it means that you have to wait until Tuesday to buy your stuff. Now, another thing you should also know is that in Germany, you have to separate your trash. Right, so normally the blue one is for papers, the brown ones are mostly for bio products, right? And normally they have the orange or the yellow one, which are for plastic and things like that. So anything that cannot fit into the blue one, which is for papers, or the bio, which is the brown ones, or the orange or yellow, which is the plastic, can go into the black one, which is the rest more. So somebody will ask, what if I mix them, what happens? I mean, if you get caught, then you can pay a fine. So that is it. So you don't want to pay a fine, so you need to separate these things. And it's good, I mean, they have to recycle, so if you do it, you're just doing for humanity's sake, right? So it's important you do that. And another thing I have to also say is that if you have a glass, depending on the color of the glass, you have to put it in that color, right? Normally they have indicated these different colors of the glasses also. So even for glasses, you don't have to mix them, you have to separate them as well. Now the fourth thing you have to know is that, I mean, if you come to Germany, you're a single person and you are a guy, you meet a German girl, you are a girl, you meet a German guy and you like them, I would advise you to not go straight to asking for their phone number. You can actually start with asking maybe their social handles, maybe Instagram or something like that, and after they gain your trust, then they can give you their number. So it's something that you need to know in case you're single, and I mean, if you come here and you want to mingle, right? So basically, this is what you want to do. I mean, not to mingle in a bad way, but if you want to find a German wife or a German husband, then you have to do that. So this is a tip. Now, another thing I have to also tell you is that German punctuality is actually true. It's not a hearsay, right? If you live in Germany, you get to know that if you have an appointment or you need to meet somebody or anything you want to do or go, you need to be there on time, right? So, but there are some flexibility in terms of if you are 5 minutes late in Germany is allowed. So normally if you have an appointment, you can either go there early, 5 minutes earlier, or 5 minutes late, and it's allowed, right? And another thing you can also do is if you are going for an appointment and you realize you're going to be late, right? Immediately you realize this, just text the person or call the person or whatever means, and then let them know that you are late and you are likely to be there on a certain time. At least give them some time frame to know that, okay, you're likely to be there at this time, right? It's also acceptable. In Germany, before you take the bus, the train, or any of the public transport, you need to buy a ticket. Actually, nobody is inspecting the tickets at the gate, but you can board the train. But if you don't have a ticket, there are actually some people who comes once a while and then they immediately checks everybody, and if you don't have a ticket, you will pay a fine, and currently it's around 60 euros. And so you have to make sure you buy your ticket all the time. Now, another thing I want to also tell you is that if you buy a drink, water, or anything, actually there's a symbol on that bottle that will indicate that you have paid for a deposit for that bottle, right? And so when you finish drinking it, you can keep them in your apartment until maybe you have several of them, and then when you have more that you cannot accommodate anymore, then you can go to the supermarket. There's always a machine where you can actually put these bottles back in, and then after that you can print a paper with a label or some barcode, and then you can get your money back, or you can even use it to buy another thing, or maybe another water, another drink, or anything else. So never throw those bottles away, because it's actually your money. You have already paid for them. So you have to always keep them and then return it to the supermarket. Another thing I want to also tell you is that not all the shops, especially the smaller ones, accept card payments. So sometimes you need to have some cash on you, because when you want to buy some bread or anything to eat immediately, a coffee or something, sometimes some of the shops, they don't accept card payment. And even if they accept card payment, sometimes they have like a minimum amount you have to buy something before you can use the card to pay, right? And so sometimes you have to have some cash, some extra coins and papers on you to be able to buy certain things at certain places. Another thing that you also have to actually not do is to walk on the bike lane. So in Germany, every street, at least most of the streets, they have other two separate lanes, which one is the bike lane. Normally you don't have to walk on the bike lane because there's also pavement for people to walk on. And so if you mistakenly walk on the bike lane, I mean, some people sometimes they are fast with their bikes, you might not know, somebody can hit you or something, right? So when I came to Germany, sometimes when you come in the first few weeks, you might find yourself sometimes walking on the bike lane, and sometimes it's risky, right? So, and also you don't have to cross the red lights, right? And when the traffic is red for you, you have to stop, especially when there are kids around. Now, another thing I want to also tell you, or you have to plan before you actually come to Germany, is that you want to choose whether you want to stay in a big city or a small, or a town or small city, right? Because the thing is that if you want to find a work much easier, then you want to choose a big city. If you want to meet people from different countries, you have to live in a big city, right? But the thing is that in a big city, the disadvantage is also the fact that if you want to learn German really faster, it's not gonna be so, it's gonna be slow. This is because most of the people that you are going to meet, you are probably going to speak English, and then because it's much more foreigners in the city, right, compared to maybe the town or village where you meet several Germans and you can try to speak German, right? And so if you want to learn German faster, then you need to move to maybe a much more a small city or a town. Now the last tip I want to give you is that if you have a driving license from your country, then there's a possibility to use that for the first 6 months while being in Germany, right? So if you have driving license, you can use it for 6 months, the first 6 months, but after that you need to get a German driving license. So this is something that if you have a license, you should also know that you can use it for the first 6 months. So thank you guys, and if you are already in Germany and you are watching this video, there are so many things you can also share in the comment section to help people who are actually coming to Germany. So thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in another one. Bye.